How are you, horror lovers? Today, we bring you a legend from the province of Pontevedra, Spain. There, we find a cemetery in the small town of Mondariz, which has terrified several generations. Juan Luis had gone on vacation to Pontevedra with several friends. The first days were dedicated to seeing the city center, and then they decided to visit the small towns in the surroundings. Thus, they arrived in Mondariz and stayed in a hotel located in the vicinity of a forest. One of his friends wanted to go out at night to visit the woods. Although the rest didn't feel like it much, they accompanied him down the park path. After walking for a kilometer, they arrived at a cemetery. It had a very tall gate with iron gates. The group of friends decided to go in to browse. The cemetery seemed to be abandoned. The grass was untended and there were half-open graves. After making a detour, they left the place and found a man running terrified. Seeing them, he told them to hide very well, because if they didn't, they would die. The boys laughed at the man and he disappeared into the darkness. They continued on their way when suddenly they heard a kind of murmuring. Shortly after, they saw a glow approaching them and heard footsteps. Juan Luis and his friends looked at each other and scared, they ran to the cemetery again to hide. They didn't want to look at what or who they were. They stood quietly behind a wall as they felt a group of people walk past them. At that moment, it began to smell very strongly of burning. The group remained completely still and silent until little by little the footsteps receded. When they no longer heard anything, they came out of their hiding place and saw footprints on the damp ground. The trail of footsteps followed the same direction that the man who had run away had taken. Juan Luis and his friends left the forest and returned to the hotel. When they entered, there was an old man at the reception who, seeing them, yelled at them, asking them to explain why they had gone out into the woods at night. After telling them what happened, the man began to pray for them. He told them that at night, in the Galician mountains, and especially with a full moon, you can find the Santa Compañía. If someone crosses this group of hooded persons, they will give him a burning bone as a torch to wander with them for the rest of eternity. You cannot look at them. If someone dares to do so, he must draw a circle on the ground and stay inside until they pass by. And whoever doesn't dare to look at them, he must hide very well and pray that they don't see him. In Mondariz Cemetery, only the victims of the Santa Compañía were buried. It is said that these souls are cursed, which is why the place is hidden away from the town. Juan Luis asked the old man about the footsteps they had heard, to which the man replied that it could be the steps of the Santa Compañía. The group of friends never knew what happened that night, but the man who ran away next to the cemetery never returned to town. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life horror videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.